exciting time on King 5 Mornings. We look to the recent changes since the Me Too movement last year. We're going to talk to two very influential women about how it's changed the workplace. Hey, welcome back to the broadcast. It is 8:40 on your Saturday morning. You're looking live from the King 5 roof cam. And a little bit of a cloudy Seattle this morning. Temperatures in the 40s. We're going to have Darren here with your full forecast in just a moment. But first, you know, I don't know if you remember this, but last year we invited two influential women to talk about how the Me Too movement is changing the way we act at work. Well, over the past year, the environment has continued to change. So here to continue that conversation is local attorney Jennifer Cannon-Unione and Keila Hall, who is an expert in workforce development. Ladies, thank you for being here and helping us kind of navigate all this, because I think for everybody it's really hard. And Jennifer, let's start with you. There have been a lot of changes in the law, both nationally and locally, when it comes to this issue and as a result of the Me Too movement.
Yeah, big changes. I think one of the biggest area of changes is the area of these mandatory arbitration clauses that are part of many employee agreements. Employees are demanding transparency. So this arbitration clause requires the case, if you have a claim, a sexual harassment claim, to be handled in a private setting, in a private forum, and you can't then go into a public setting. In November, Google employees protested in the thousands. They didn't like the way their company was handling these sexual harassment claims. And what did the company do? It changed policy. So now, if you work for Google, you have a sexual harassment claim, you can file that in a public courtroom setting. Then after that, Facebook changed. Microsoft had already done it. Uber, Lyft. It's likely other companies are going to follow in those footsteps. And then locally, we have big changes. Our state government has taken it even further, and any kind of discrimination claim, race, gender, you cannot have, even if you have one of those clauses, you cannot, you have a right, if you're an employee, to file that in a public setting. So you have that Lorena Martin case.
Yeah.
She just filed suit against the Mariners. Well, she has a very similar clause. This week, her attorney filed a motion in court to say, hey, that clause under this new law is void. It's against public policy. Miss Martin should be allowed to take her case and her claim in a public setting in the courtroom.
Into civil court.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Yeah.
well, of course, once they get over that hurdle, then they can go forward. But it is interesting to see that now. A lot will be changing in that sense. It doesn't have to be the company. It's good to see that the entire state is that.
Yes.
Keila, how has this affected, I mean, companies that you work with, you work one-on-one, having them try to change the culture. How is that changing? What are they asking you? What kind of type of training are they asking you for now?
Yeah, there's, well, of course, sexual harassment,
Yeah.
you know, post Me Too is #1 for everyone. And then, you know, and even if you don't have like a structured sexual harassment training, I would recommend bringing in a legal team to work with your legal team, someone like Jennifer that can really go in with some of the coaching and things. But outside of sexual harassment, a lot of leadership and development type of training, such as like Amazon, a lot of the tech companies, they're offering those. And I think that's important. And the reason why I say that is because you want to make sure that like it's not just mandated trainings that you're giving to your employees, but you're also giving them options to be involved in some of those different trainings as well. But sexual harassment is definitely, of course, #1, even to the point where I've been called into some companies privately to do some one-on-one coaching with employees and organizations who have had claims filed against them, and they didn't want to let those employees go.
Well, that's good that they're making that effort and that you're in there talking to them.
Absolutely.
I mean, ladies, this is something that we're going to continue to see change, I would imagine. What suggestions do either of you give to employers?
You know, one of the biggest things that Jennifer and I was talking about was don't wait. Don't wait on something to happen. That's like one of the worst ways that you can lose trust of your employees.
Yeah.
Be on the forefront, like a lot of companies are. One of the things I like about Amazon in particular is that they give their employees choices of different trainings that they can be able to take
See, and
on.
that's
a good
key.
idea.
That's
It
key
is.
to get people involved as opposed to saying, here, watch this video and check A, B, and C.
I think that's huge.
Are you going to really remember that? It's all about like getting people involved into the trainings. And then these mandated ones, sexual harassment is very serious. We definitely need to have those trainings. But then there's other things you can do too, like having critical thinking and crucial conversations. And I say that because if you can have a crucial conversation, I'm not saying that you'll be able to prevent sexual harassment or sexual assault, but it just gives you better tools to be able to have better conversations.
Really, and it raises that awareness, right? Because I think a lot of people are confused. What do I do in the workplace? We talked about this at the last segment. You know, I mean, really, you shouldn't be commenting on a person's dress or attire unless it's part of kind of the job description. You know, hugging is probably not appropriate. And so people, that kind of training really raises that awareness. So people at least know what is appropriate behavior, because people are probably afraid, they're confused.
Absolutely. And other training, here at King, we held a diversity training.
Oh, that's nice.
A different level of training, a different, you know, and kind of really opened everyone's eyes to certain things. And so certainly it is key. But like you said, letting employees choose seems to be the most engaging part of it.
It is, absolutely. And even like one of the things that our state did that I really like is now there's a newly found Women's Commission that started up last year. You know, I'm excited about that.
I know, look at that smile on your face.
To hide it. But the Women's Commission, they're actually taking on sexual harassment. I'm one of their volunteers, and so sexual harassment is one of the #1 things that they're focusing on for women and men in particular, because we don't talk a lot about men being sexually harassed in the workplace. So I think that it's exciting to know that the state, that we're having that now,
that
and we put money towards it.
Yes.
And then with the changes in the laws, I mean, it's finally seems like everything is getting on track as opposed to company by company.
Yeah, with the demand for transparency, with the Me Too movement, companies are responding. They're changing their policy and all over. And I think that we're going to see this year lots of other companies following suit in that direction, and that more engaging, perhaps, type of sexual harassment training that can actually get, as you were saying, get those companies and the employees involved.
Ladies, thank you so much. Jennifer Cannon-Unione and Keila Hall, thank you, ladies. Please come back to continue this conversation, because it's something we all need to know to kind of be able to navigate the workforce in this day and age.
I agree.
All right, well.